Hey guys, welcome back to It's Just Another Shilling. I am Teresa and I'm so glad you're here. I was getting ready to post my video and realized that I had just lost everything for my intro. But that's okay because I found out that this week a lot of mamas that I watch are doing a Fill Your Freezer video. So I figured I'd join on in since this is exactly what I did. And I have some breakfast burritos, a casserole bake, and a couple dinners that I just whipped up today to get my freezer a little bit more full. So why don't you come on with me? Let's cook. I started my day by cracking a ridiculous amount of eggs. I think I did 2 dozen. Um, these are going to become scrambled eggs to put into my egg burritos. I'm going to get these whisked up and then they are going to go into the pan. I just really care about making sure all the yolks are broken, but even that really doesn't matter because while I'm cooking it, they'll all get broken anyways. I'm going to season here with a little bit of fresh cracked pepper and a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. And then go ahead and get these into the pan and cooking. So on the stove you see I have a pan right there, the raw meat. That is all breakfast sausage. I have that for a couple different dishes. I have that pan in the back, that's rice that I'm getting ready to go boiling. And then that covered pan right in front of me, that is some chicken that I'm boiling to make a chicken and rice dish and one other dish. Oh, chicken salad. So the two pans on the stove that I sort of kind of need to babysit are those eggs and the sausage. So every once in a while, I'm just going to go back and give both of them a stir. Make sure that I'm not burning my eggs, making sure that my sausage is cooking evenly. With the eggs, I want to get them to just before they're fully cooked, so they're still slightly wet. Um, we're going to be putting these into the freezer, and we're going to be microwaving them. If you cook them all the way, it's just going to ruin them. And then that sausage, you want it browned all the way through. We don't need getting anyone sick. So you saw me right there checking my chicken. I just want to see if it was boiling or not. And then I'm just going to continue cooking my sausage and my eggs until they're ready to go. So this right here is a jicama. It is, I believe, well, I know it's a root vegetable. I think some people consider it to be a type of radish. I just know it's good. Um, they are a little bit on the tougher side. I've never actually cooked with one, or if I have, it's been a very long time. But they're delicious. Let me know if I'm peeling this wrong. This was just the way that I figured out, maybe I'll peel it this way, and I went with it. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy peeler. I love this peeler. I've had it for 4 or 5 years. No, longer than that. Probably 10 or 15 years. And it served me incredibly well. It is a KitchenAid peeler, and I just like the shape of it. I like how sharp it is. I've never had to sharpen it ever, and it has been used and abused. So let's get this jicama peeled, and then I will show you what to do next. So jicama is a little bit of a tougher vegetable, but no more tough than I would say a carrot. You could cut this into strips and use it with dill dip, and it's really, really good. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend it's a potato. This is a very, very low carb count, and it does really good that way. The one thing that I should warn, though, is that when you use it the way I'm going to use it in a breakfast casserole, the jicama still has a crunch, even after baking and reheating. So it never softens up like a potato, but it definitely gives a texture to the dish that you would want or desire or need. It took me a little bit of getting used to, but it's actually pretty good. So yeah, I recommend trying it. So right here, I'm just going to grate my jicama. I'm going to get it all the way grated up. I end up using the whole entire thing just because I didn't want any of it to go to waste. This grater right here is really cool. It actually has a measuring cup on the bottom of it, so you can measure it as you go. But again, I just used the whole entire thing and got it done. Look at all that deliciousness. So here, surprise of surprises, I am cracking more eggs. But this time I'm actually following, or quote unquote following, a recipe for some breakfast dishes. Now, this is what I'm using the jicama for. If you guys don't want to use jicama, you can definitely use potatoes. It works just as well and it's just as good. It's just I'm trying to get a little bit on the lower carb side of the world, and so I went for jicama. So then I put in the almond milk, some dill, and some salt and pepper and got it all mixed up and ready to add the potatoes. Not potatoes, jicama. Add the jicama. Did I mention that I am the world's fastest onion cutter? I can cut it in under a second. Sure. That has no. So next I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my ground sausage in there. Half of this is for something different, so I'm not going to put it all in there. We're going to give it a stir, and then we're going to add the jicama and some cheese, and then get it into the pans and going. This will fit in one 9x13 pan, but I went ahead and used my smaller pans. These are like a 2-serving dish. And I did that so that I could pull a little bit out of the freezer at a time and just heat that up. It made it easier. I really enjoyed it that way, and I definitely think I'm going to do it again. So let's get this into the pan. We're going to top it with some cheese and get it wrapped for the freezer. So we're going to get these in the oven for about 45 minutes or until they're not jiggly anymore. So not only am I the world's fastest onion cutter, but I also happen to rock out a solid bell pepper. Still no editing. That's all me. So here I have my parchment paper. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut into 6 so that I can use it to wrap up all of my burritos. I'm going to grab my Mission tortillas. These are a low-carb tortilla. We're going to warm them up in the microwave for a minute, and then I am going to get wrapping. A little bit of the egg sausage filling, a little bit of the cheese, and then I am off. And after about, 5 minutes of doing this, I realized I wasn't folding my ends in, and that is why I have the big mess. So I'm going to go ahead and get these finished, and then move on to the next thing. So this here is a broccoli and chicken recipe. I have almond milk, Great Northern beans, dill, curry powder, horseradish. Yeah, I wasn't so sure about that, but it actually was really good. And then a little bit of salt and pepper and some bouillon. I didn't have the powdered bouillon, so I just threw a couple of cubes in there. A little bit of garlic. And
no way.
I think that was all. Onion powder maybe. And then put that in the blender.
Oh yeah.
And it was good to go. frozen broccoli, the rice that I had been cooking on the stove earlier, and then that curry powder sauce. I got them all into a bowl and got that mixed together. I then put it into 2 baking dishes, sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on top, and wrapped them to go into the freezer. Next up is a Mexican chicken base. Right here you see I have chicken, rice, onions, nutritional yeast, chili powder, cumin, dill, this is garlic powder, some pink Himalayan sea salt, and then some pepper. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all stirred up, and I'm going to get this rice mixture in the bottom of my dish. After the rice is in, I'm going to go ahead and set it aside, and then I'm going to take my chicken, pour some pasta sauce onto it and some lime juice, and then get that on top of the chicken, wrap it up, and get it into the freezer. Oh shoot, did I mention that there was mozzarella cheese on here? That's what makes it the best. So I decided to make some cucumber salad, and I decided to try using my super cool handy dandy cheese grater for that, and I didn't like how it was working. So I went back to my knife and I cut the cucumber by hand with my knife. We're going to take all this cucumber, cut it into about 1/8 of an inch thickness, get it into the bowl, and then make the sauce. So the sauce consists of Greek yogurt, a little bit of stevia. This is a liquid stevia that I actually got from Trader Joe's, and I love it. Some dill weed, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper. It was super simple to make, really, really easy. I know I've used a ton of dill in my recipes today, but I like dill, so why not make a whole bunch of stuff with it in? So I got the yogurt in the bowl. I'm going to go ahead and use apple cider vinegar. This one has a mother in it. It gives it a really tart taste, but it's really, really good. I'm going to throw the dill in there, and then this stevia is a concentrate. So what that means is that you don't actually need a ton of it. 1 or 2 drops at the most. It's not a lot. And it will give a lot of sweetness. It's a really, really, really good substitute. I use it in my tea every morning with my almond milk and collagen. It's a favorite. It's a staple in our house. Gotta have it. So we're going to get this mixed up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the cucumbers, get that stirred up, and then it's going to sit in the fridge for an hour or so. I should note that my cucumbers actually sat in the fridge for about 45 minutes. I salted them and then drained off all the liquid before I got them in there. So I tried the spoon. It didn't work. I thought, maybe I'll just put a little bit more sauce in there. And then I realized the spoon wasn't my problem. It was I needed to use my hand. So I got my hand into that bowl and got these cucumbers all mixed up. Next time I do this, I'll use a bigger bowl, and maybe that will make it a little bit easier with the spoon. But for right now, this actually worked. This cucumber salad is really good the day you make it, but after that, it sort of gets really mushy and gross and icky, and so it is a really, really good day of salad, but I wouldn't eat it a day or two later. It's time for everyone's favorite part, the cleanup. I have no idea where that eggshell came from, but it was there, and so I used it. And I also don't know why I have a safety thing on my outlet in the kitchen that my children can't reach, but I'm going to put it in there because that's where it usually goes. So I'm going to get my counter cleaned, and then I'm going to wash a literal mountain of dishes. You'll see. Alright, so that's all for my freezer cooking. I definitely do lots more. Tell me, what did you think? Did I use too much dill? What else did you like about it? Those breakfast casseroles were really, really good. A little bit crunchy, but still delicious. And my husband is loving the breakfast burritos. We really, really enjoyed the curry, that curried broccoli chicken that I made. And we also, well, I more than everyone else, enjoyed that taco chicken rice bake. That was super good. I had it on lettuce with some tortilla chips, some cheese, and some sour cream. That was the way I ate it. What would you guys do? I'll see you guys next time. Bye!